Hi future millionaires, welcome back to Debt to Millionaire. I'm John, and today I'm going to show you a house on which I lost almost $4,000 when I tried to set it up as an Airbnb. Keep watching to the end of the video to find out what went wrong. But before we jump in, please smash that like button because I'm $4,000 down from this entire house fiasco and it would really help support the channel. I rented this big, beautiful house in Manchester. I actually viewed the house 3 months ago. It seemed fine. The owner of the house showed me around. It was perfectly nice, massive house, 3 bedrooms. It could fit 4 double beds, so 8 guests in total. It didn't need too much work doing to it. I could just throw in some soft decor, some soft furnishings, make it look all nice, and then basically it would be ready to go as an Airbnb that would net profit over $1,000 a month. So after the setup period of furnishing it, it would be a fairly passive addition to my short-term rentals business. I absolutely busted my butt getting the property ready. It took 2 full weeks, about $4,000 worth of stuff that I had to buy to put in it. I already had some of that stuff that I needed in storage, so I didn't have to buy all of it at that time, but there was about $4,000 worth of stuff that needed to go in. That's just the start of the setup process of this house, so I cleared up all the owner's junk, and next now I need to unbox all of these setup items. I'm heading over to IKEA tonight with a couple of friends. On top of that, there was about $2,000 worth of labour, so I had to have it cleaned for several days just to make it really spotless. I also had to pay for a photographer to come in to take the marketing photos for when we would eventually list the property on Airbnb and Booking.com and on our own website, to get the guests in. At this point, I'm about $6,000 in, so we got $4,000 on stuff, $2,000 on labour, people doing stuff. I also had to pay a month's rent up front, just for the first month, so that was almost another $2,000, so that's $8,000, and also had to pay a deposit on top of that, so quite capital intensive to get this place set up. The photographer comes in on 2 weeks after the lease started. It was all ready for him, it looked amazing. I'll just show you around really quickly. So we got beautiful living room, nice dining table set up, the kitchen looked fantastic. The upstairs bathrooms, of course, were nice and pristine with a couple of knickknacks about. Bedrooms, I actually painted one of the bedrooms this really nice emerald green colour. Right, it's 7 PM, Friday night now, and I'm just about to start painting it. It's now 9:30 PM, so I've been at this 2.5 hours. I've only just finished taping up the whole room. It's now almost 2:30 in the morning, and I've got about 2/3 done. Much better than before. And then when I went into one of the smaller bedrooms with the photographer, he said, Have you ever had that wall looked at? Because it looks like there's a bit of a damp patch there. And I was like, oh, that's strange. Like did I just not notice that before? Well, to cut a long story short, it wasn't there before. So it just appeared in the one day from when I finished furnishing the house and the photographer coming. So I called up the landlord and I was like, look, there's this damp patch. Obviously there's something going on with the roof. It must be leaking. So we had to basically pause our plans to get guests in the following week, and then had to get this roofing company out. They went up and had a look at it, and they were like, oh, no, this roof, it's no good. It's got holes in it all over. It's been patched everywhere for years on years. It really needs a full new roof, this house, like a full roof repair. And I was like, can't we just do something a bit smaller and a bit cheaper? Because, I was wanting to get guests in as fast as possible. So I was like, can you just fix the bit that's leaking now and is causing this damp? It was like, yeah, sure. So they did that fix. A month passed after the repair, so we were just giving it time to dry, and it didn't dry. So basically the leak wasn't fixed. And we were completely flabbergasted as to why it was still wet, because the roof supposedly had been fixed. So we had to I had to arrange for another roofing company to come out to someone else's house, which I was renting. They went up and had a look.
The ridge tiles have slipped. It's all failing. I think that's where it's leaking at the front and patched up and stuff.
basically there must be water going in from all over the roof, and they couldn't believe that there wasn't damp and water leaking into all the different rooms of the house, just because there were holes all over the roof. So then I was like, well, what's going on? Why is that not happening? So we had a little peek into the attic, into the loft space, and what we found was pretty shocking. Basically, there were these, I've never seen this before in a house, and it should not have been there. There were these plastic sheets like coming off of the pitched part of the roof, which was diverting the water that was coming in from all over the roof, and it was diverting that water out to the external walls of the house, and the water was going in between, basically down inside the walls. It was only a matter of time before every single room in the house would become damp and then mouldy, and then every single wall would have to be like torn apart and then replastered and then repainted. No doubt there's water damage behind all the walls that you just can't see yet. Actually, a little bit of water damage did start to reveal itself in the second room, like multiple months down the line after we discovered the first damp. So yeah, the theory of every single wall should have been damp was becoming true. So I was like, I gotta get out of this. I've just gotta get out of this house now. Otherwise, I'm just gonna lose more money on it, because meanwhile, I'm paying holding costs like the gas and electricity and the water bill and this thing called council tax and just all these costs that you have when you're just holding a house with no one in it, and it's not even my house. I'm not making it. I'm just losing money on it. So I was like, we're just gonna have to cut the lease here. You do your roof repairs, and I'll just cut my loss on it. I tried to get some money back from the landlord, but he wasn't really having any of it. I might have to pursue that a bit later, but for now I'm just glad to have got it out of the way. So, and then I had to spend a full week again taking all the stuff back out and putting it into my storage unit, which is absolutely bursting at the seams now because it's got all of this stuff in from the house that wasn't in there before, as well as some other stuff that I already had in storage ready to set up other properties. So now I've got thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars just of stuff. I mean, it's not gone to waste. I can use it in future properties to set them up as and when I sign the leases, but for now, my storage unit is a bit bursting. I could recycle that $4,000 worth of items. I can use that in another property later, like I said, but the other costs that I had, like that first month's rent, which was about $2,000, that's gone. $2,000 I had to spend on labour, like with the cleaning and the photography and the repairs, that's also gone, evaporated. And I suppose it's just one of those risks of business, isn't it? Like, we took a chance on this house and it should have made a good amount of profit, but unfortunately there was an issue that we didn't know about and that cost us a lot of money. And that's just a risk of business. But no doubt we're going to make a lot more money in the future by pursuing this same business model. Every time in business when a problem like this happens, you learn from it. I've just got to be more careful on the checks with the houses. I'm also only going to be getting newer, like more recently built properties for two reasons. One, they're probably not going to need much maintenance or any maintenance when we move in, so we don't have to outlay money to get things fixed, which should have already been fixed in the first place. And we won't have to do any decorations. That's the second thing. We won't have to put any money or time into decorating or painting. You know, like I spent, 11 hours? I spent the good part of 2 days painting that bedroom emerald green, and for what? For nothing, because now we've had to end the contract. Now, the million-dollar question is, did or did not the landlord, the owner of the property, already know about the damp problem? Because throughout this whole fiasco, he has claimed that they've never had any problems with damp before in the house. But I just can't see how that's true, because if the roof has been in that condition the whole time,
it's all failing and patched up,
and he's been living there for 4 years, and the wall was already really damp, behind. I'm thinking he's just put like fresh wallpaper or fresh paint over the top of a really crumbling apart wall that's really damp, and he's just tried to rent it out, and then he's taken that first month's rent and then just turned a blind eye to it, hoping that, I don't know, just completely ignoring it and hoping that everything would be fine. That's my that's my theory. Like, what else could it be? Like, how could he live there for 4 years and not know that there are these plastic sheets in the roof that run water to the external walls, and then all the walls are filled with water that's running down them constantly every time it rains? And here in the UK, it rains all the time. So, no chance in 4 years has there not been damp patches that have appeared on various walls. Comment down below on what you think. If you liked the video, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a future video just like this one. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.